I've tested out many productivity apps over the years, and these are just the ones that I keep coming back to that I just find are reliable options. These apps are very simple and not very complicated depending on how you set it up, and I think this could work for your average person or the most type A person out there. They're simple, I like the user interface on the apps, which is a big thing for me when it comes to productivity apps, and they just help me get things done quickly. So I'm going to be covering all these apps and how I practically use them in my day-to-day life. Before we get into the apps, I do want to share with you a new addition to my desk setup, or productivity space if you want to call it that, and that is the Epomaker Galaxy 70 mechanical keyboard. This is the creamiest, thockiest keyboard I have ever used, and when I tell you that it has contributed to my overall levels of productivity, I am not joking. So this is the Galaxy 70 keyboard from Epomaker. I absolutely love the design, with it being built out of aluminium, so it feels really sturdy and great quality. It has this knob here at the top right for easy adjustment of volume, and it also has built-in RGB. And then I mentioned it is absolutely beautiful. This is the gray color and does have two other color options as well. Out of the box, it comes with some extra keycaps, and also if you're a Mac user, they've got you covered. It also includes extra switches. These are the Epomaker Zebra switches, but they also sent over some other switches as well. Here we have the Jade Blossom switches and the Wisteria switches as well. All of these are really comfortable to type with, and it really just depends on personal preference which one you want on your keyboard. The keyboard also has 3 connection modes, so you can choose between wired, wireless using the USB receiver, which is hidden here in this section on the keyboard, or you can just use the Bluetooth, and it does have a 4000 milliamp hour battery. But now for what you've all been waiting for, here is a sound test of this beautiful keyboard. So overall, I've really been enjoying this keyboard. If you're looking for a cute addition to your desk setup and also something that types amazing, I highly recommend. So I'll have it linked in the description if you're interested in picking it up for yourself. So now let's get to the apps. So first off, we have Reminders that is available on iPhone. This is very basic, I know, but I love something that's simple and just really straightforward, and that is what Reminders is for me. So what I use Reminders for is when I'm quickly needing to write down something that came to mind, whether it's a task, an idea, anything like that, I will quickly add in using the Reminders app. Since it's on my phone, on my tablet, so whatever device I'm on, it's just kind of a way for me to brain dump something that I feel like I want to schedule in maybe on my other apps sometime later. I also have different lists in Reminders. So for instance, I have my grocery list here. So whenever I realize something needs to be rebought, something is finished, I can just quickly write it in. And what I love about grocery lists in Reminders is that it's categorized by section, which helps a lot when it comes to actually going out to shop. Then we have my videos list, where I actually just brain dump anything that has to do with my videos. And it's also in this Kanban board layout, which helps me categorize some of the things. Another list I have is my home list. So this is for anything that needs to get done around the house, or just anything that I possibly need for the house, I can also write in here. What I really like about Reminders as well is the widgets that are available on all my devices. It's interactive, so I can quickly tick things off from my to-do list right from my home screen, and it's just a nice simple widget just to keep track of everything. Something that I'm really excited about for iOS 18 is that Reminders is going to be integrated with Apple Calendar. So whenever you schedule a reminder in the Reminders app, it will also show that in the Calendar app as well. So that's also going to be really, really helpful. Speaking of Apple Calendar, that's also my calendar app of choice. I know a lot of people love Google Calendar. I think also because it's very versatile, but what I've done is I actually have linked my Google Calendar to my Apple Calendar app. Just because Apple Calendar is native on all my devices, it actually has an Apple Calendar app on Mac, which is really nice. And also, like I said, UI is very important to me, and I just love the UI on Apple Calendar. Another reason why I opted to link my Google Calendar to Apple Calendar is because Google Calendar also works with Notion, which Apple Calendar doesn't. So that's also a practical reason why I'm still using Google Calendar in a sense, but in the Apple Calendar app. As you can see here, I just have color coordinated different calendars for YouTube videos, for sponsorship due dates, also for personal events and plans. All that I have scheduled and color coded in my calendar. And again, any reminders, tasks will also pop up in Apple Calendar. So yeah, I just really like this for all my scheduling needs. Next app we have is Notion, which is another basic app, but I've just had it for years and I like to keep things pretty simple and minimal in Notion, otherwise I'm not going to be keeping up with it. I have all these pages in my Notion homepage and I probably use only 2 because again, if it's too much, I'm not going to keep up with it. So for Notion, what I like to use it for is just tracking and long-term planning and scripting my videos. That's probably my main uses for Notion. So for instance, this page here is a book tracker page, and this is just nice to have a visual representation of all the books that I've read. And what's really nice about using Notion for book tracking is that it's easy to find a book by using the filters and all the databases in Notion. It just makes it really easy to sort things with all the filters and things. To me, it's just easier to navigate things like stats and ratings and things like that in Notion than it is like in GoodNotes. That's just handwritten notes. So if you're looking to do any type of tracking, I highly recommend Notion for that. Another thing I use Notion for every single day is my content manager, where I plan, script out, and schedule any videos. So this is the database with all my video ideas, types of videos, the stages of production that videos are in. I also have this for my short form content, which is actually just the same database with just a short form filter on it. I don't actually use this a lot for planning short form content. I feel like that is more just like I get an idea and I execute it, whereas YouTube videos usually have a lot more planning and scripting going into it. So when I'm planning out a new YouTube video, I will fill out this template here, which has a lot of properties like what platform it's going to be posted on. If it's related to a sponsorship, I also have a sponsorship separate page, which is linked to this database, where I can link what videos are correlating to what sponsor, which is something that I really find helpful to keep track of. Then I have the status of that video and also the planned upload date and what category the video falls in. And then for the actual template, I have this section for scripting. So this is where I just write out either bullet points or word for word what I want to say in a YouTube video. Then I have this database here that is a filming list, where I can list out any shots that I need to take for a certain video, whether it's A-roll or B-roll, and then I can also just take it off once I'm done filming that shot. So this is just helpful to keep track of all the filming that I need to do. And then lastly, I just have this description / timetable section where I just usually fill in anything that I'm scared I'm gonna forget to add into the description. I just put here in Notion. Without this, I don't think my videos would make any sense. It just really helps me to get everything out that I need to, and also just being able to organize it in different ways. I highly recommend Notion for anything like this. Then the last app we have is GoodNotes, and this is my app for any type of digital planning that I need to do. I would say this is to me more of a day-to-day writing my to-do list, whereas the other apps are more for either future planning or just writing things down that need to be brain dumped. But GoodNotes to me is like having a to-do list notepad and just writing everything down that has to happen that day. I love to use my digital planner in GoodNotes. I will have the one that I'm using here linked in the description if you're interested in getting it for yourself. But I've made a video recently covering how I plan for a month, where you can also see more of my planning process, which I will also have linked in the description if you're interested in seeing that. I just love the feeling of handwriting a to-do list, and even if it's not on paper, I'm still using the Apple Pencil to handwrite out my to-do lists and just everything that needs to get done in a day. I also love to use GoodNotes for book journaling, so I have this book journal here, which I keep up with just to track any reading that I'm doing. Again, I know I have this in Notion as well, but this to me is more of a creative outlet than it is tracking books. It's just fun to make up these cute pages for different books and just writing everything down there. Notion is more the statistical side of this. So those are all the apps that I want to share with you that are a part of my productivity system, if you want to call it that. These are just apps that I like to use to schedule events, get things done, write to-do lists, brain dump, just all of that. It's simple. I know it's very Apple oriented, so if you're an Android user, I'm sorry. I believe there are other apps out there that will work for you, like Google Calendar and Todoist maybe. It's a really good app, I know. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to go check out the Epomaker Galaxy 70 keyboard. I honestly love that thing so much. I really mean it. So if you want to go check that out, link in the description. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.